You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AfterBuzz TV's WWE NXT After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's WWE NXT After Show.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another NXT After Show right here on AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm your host, Cathy Kelley. Joining me today to talk about the March 27th episode, True Hobo rocking out.
Well, this isn't just the March 27th episode. This is Vengeance, NXT Vengeance.
NXT Vengeance. It's also my half-birthday, so in case anyone cares.
Hey, you're almost not even close to being what you were +1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice save. Very good save.
Cool.
Good save.
Thanks. Sitting next to True Hobo, Mark Donica.
You didn't even introduce me.
I did.
That was it?
I said True Hobo, he's doing it, and then you cut me off.
Damn it.
I was going to talk about how you were using an air guitar instead of a regular guitar because you can't afford one.
Well,
That's good.
Yeah.
All right, fine. I've ruined my own intro.
Stick to the gimmick.
And then you also ruined Mark's as well.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm going to ruin this show single-handedly.
Yeah. If anybody's going to ruin a show, it's going to be me. I had to take it back from you.
I'm taking the lead. Like,
Let's all collectively ruin this show.
Let's talk about Once Upon a Time instead.
That's a great show,
Yeah.
by the way.
okay.
But I think that people get mad at us,
exactly,
and
but that's ruining
I
the show.
prefer people to like me, so we're going to talk about NXT.
Cathy Kelley's a pleaser.
People pleaser. So we kick off tonight's episode with a package. Bo and Neville, of course, at NXT ArRIVAL. These two duked it out. Neville ended up being victorious and has the NXT title. But tonight they will rehash their feud and see if Bo will come out on top, which he doesn't, but we'll talk about that later.
Right.
Bury the lead.
Don't bury the lead. I mean,
Spoiler alert, if you haven't watched the show yet. But, yes, first match of the night, Mojo Rawley versus CJ Parker. Mojo, like always, tons of energy, ends up winning with the hyperdrive. What do you guys think of this match?
you know what? I liked the intensity from CJ Parker. CJ Parker turned it up a notch tonight. You could see that he was into this, and he really wanted a win over Mojo Rawley. He was really trying to get that win. It wasn't just enough to put Mojo down. He wanted to beat him because Mojo got him last time.
He's been very consistent since his heel turn.
Yes, this match was great because it got to show his intensity, and as much as I wanted that intensity to pay off in a victory for him, because he's been on, like you said, he's been on a roll since he's turned heel. It does more for him by losing, and like we saw after the match, he just totally just blew a gasket. He blew a dread.
He
right off
seriously
turned into a rabid animal or something.
He's foaming
he was
at the
just
mouth.
Like a rabbit tested with products, chemicals that are never meant to be tested on animals.
No.
That is what he looked like.
Nice.
Good analogy.
Yeah.
Very fitting for CJ.
I try. I do try.
He was on the offense for essentially the entire match. I don't know if
No,
Mojo
really
tried.
didn't get anything in the beginning there. It was
But
pretty
towards
much
the
cut
end,
off.
I mean, Mojo with, I don't even know what some of those moves were called, but crazy.
He's just got monster splashes into the
Yeah.
corner. He does that butt bump thing where you can hear the ocean for a second, and then the hyperdrive.
Yeah.
And really, that's it. That's all he
all
he
you
does.
need.
That's all he had. It's everything.
It's like the Ultimate Warrior used to do. He used to do a gorilla press slam, and then no matter what kind of beatdown he got, he would do a gorilla press drop, really.
Yeah,
and
drop.
and then the splashes, and that would be it. So maybe they're trying to evoke that similar type of.
It really seems like they're very behind him, though, which
very much so.
how much
Oh, yeah.
time he's gotten on NXT. And he's a relatively new guy compared to, some of these people who have been there for years.
Well, like we saw last week, he's a man with connections, relevant connections to the NFL, which automatically brings in more people. If people who are fans of an NFL player see that a player has a friend who is in wrestling or at a wrestling event, automatically brings more eyes. So they're always trying to look to bring their message to more people and to bring new eyes to the product.
Yeah. It's like why they do Scooby-Doo, the movie.
Right.
They
Yes.
want to bring more eyes to the product. So kids
kids
now
will
fans.
buy into the mysticism that is professional wrestling.
Yes.
And that movie was pretty mystic.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm excited to watch it eventually.
Good. You should be.
So, post-match, we talked about CJ gets very, very angry. Looks like he almost pulls out a dread or two, but it was just his hair tie.
Well, it hurt, or whatever it was. Just he yanked something loose. It fell, and he grabbed it and threw it back down.
And it's split in half.
It was really kind of gross.
Yeah.
And I should know about gross.
I should know about crows too, proximity-wise.
Yes.
Right.
Ugh.
We cut to backstage, a medical evaluation of Sami Zayn from last week after Corey Graves brutally smashed his head into the post after his match.
Before his
match, yeah. And he wasn't medically cleared. Do you guys think that this moved the story forward at all, or just kind of was there to remind us that happened?
I think it was like Zayn's promo previously where they just caught him in the hallway and were just like, hey, what about Corey Graves? And he was like, well, whatever. It's a similar sort of thing where it was just kind of a reminder, but it didn't move anything forward. I think Graves later in the night moved it more forward than Zayn has been.
I think it was an attempt to explain why Zayn was not going to be on the show that night. I mean, he wasn't there, and I think without that, people would have been asking, what happened to Zayn? Where's Zayn? But we could see now that he's been put on the shelf, at least for a little while. It's not bad, but it is a concussion.
And it makes Graves a legitimate threat, seeing as he almost had a concussion.
Yeah. I still don't know that I'm fully behind this feud, though. Like, I feel like it hasn't completely developed, and I like both of the guys. Don't get me wrong. But there's just something lacking.
The emotion is very one-sided in this whole program because Graves is hot. He wants to beat Zayn. He wants it very badly, and Zayn is just sort of whatever. If he beats me, he beats me. If not, I'm cool. You need that emotion.
Yeah.
The emotion draws the fans in and will make them emote if you emote.
And that's why, I mean, Zayn's feud with Cesaro had so much emotion in it. And so everyone, regardless of how great the matches were, everyone was behind it.
Yeah, but they also had that history previously that kind of bought into it. But that just means that Graves is going to have to up his ante to make
Work
Zayn
that
care.
much harder, yeah.
Yeah, like he's going to have to do something drastic in order to get Zayn to really focus on him as an opponent.
What could he do? What now could he gave him a concussion? He put him out. Would he have to hit him with a large vehicle? I mean,
make it personal. Go after family. Who knows?
I don't know. I mean, the question is, can we do that? Where's Zayn's threshold? Where is his nerve?
I guess it's maybe lacking. Yeah, it is lacking on Corey's side. So
Like they both can bring it physically, but he just has to get into his head enough, and we haven't seen them go that far with an NXT storyline, and they could really be building to something that the NXT fans anyway haven't really seen.
Yeah, the possibility for something great is there, but we just need a little more substance, emotional substance between these two individuals to give us what we need to be invested.
I got asked a question on Twitter this last week. They were wondering if Corey Graves reminded me of CM Punk.
Get that
and
a lot.
looks-wise,
Get that a
yes. What do you guys think, though?
Looks-wise, yes, but not, he's got a... But just, like,
You
on
can't really
the
compare
surface.
anyone to CM Punk.
Yeah,
No,
but,
you
like,
can't.
it's really only in tats and kind of the way they carry themselves with that.
But they have a counterculture vibe that sort of follows them, and I can see that.
Yeah.
But the two are distinctly different.
Yeah. I was going to say that CM Punk maybe paved the way for wrestlers like Corey Graves to potentially be on the main roster, because in the past they've only had these, beast-looking guys. without that many tattoos, and now.
Only stuff like tigers on the shoulder or suns around the navel.
Yeah,
tough guy
you know.
stuff. But the
Dolphins on the lower back.
Right. Something you get in Cabo on spring break.
but not like a Pepsi logo or Kick-Ass's mask on your shoulder. But once that bell rings, though, you can see a distinct difference between Graves and Punk as well. They're
Yes.
both kind of strikers, but different types of
No, Graves is almost a straight striker. Almost unpolished, a street feel to him. He'll hit you with anything and everything. Now, whereas CM Punk debuted, he had almost a polished, maybe a taekwondo, but some sort of
martial art.
martial art background.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the next match we have Xavier Woods versus Tyler Breeze. Of course, we get the recap of their feud that's gone on for a few weeks now. And then A-Rai steals a line from Zoolander. The reason why he likes Breeze is because Breeze can turn left and right, and some models can only turn one way.
And that's what makes him a threat in the ring.
Apparently.
Imagine if he could only turn one way. He wouldn't win a match.
No, not at all.
Not win at all.
You'd think you'd need that in this kind of a
Yeah.
profession.
Exactly.
But since he can turn both ways, Breeze ends up winning with the beauty shot. Overall, very entertaining match.
Very, very physical and a different kind of match. Really wished that this match was on ArRIVAL as opposed to Rusev coming in and breaking it up. But at the same time, they keep building him up for possibly the Battle Royal at WrestleMania. But these guys can definitely bring it, and I would see this match over and over again.
With Rusev and Xavier Woods already on the main roster, it's not difficult at all to picture Tyler Breeze up there as well. I feel like he fits right in.
To imagine that his selfie cam on a giant screen all around, that would be amazing.
So good.
With a multimedia entrance like that, the bigger the arena, the bigger the entrance. It just
The bigger the ego.
grows. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So will his ego grow.
I really like how they're experimenting with different things down at NXT as far as intros, and it seems like on the main roster there are a couple of people who have pyro, whatever, but down there they're really doing different things. Like the whole selfie cam.
Yeah, that's.
I miss Xavier Woods's. He used to do the whole hair flip with the water.
Oh yeah.
Gotten that since
he's been kind of
gotten-
all business
Yeah.
as
Right.
well.
I don't know. That whole water thing.
It looked so cool though with the lighting and everything.
Getting that wet before a match is really not appealing.
But so many of the other wrestlers slick their hair back. Bo douses himself in water. The Shield douse themselves in water. Everyone does it.
I'm not saying.
All the cool kids are doing it.
I'm saying for me, it is not appealing. I go out to the ring with my hair dry and I come back with it wet because I work hard.
You're sweating.
Yeah,
Goddamn right I am.
Yeah, it just kind of amplifies the smell. It kind of permeates the Championship Wrestling from Hollywood arena. I'll
And
tell
it
you that
really
much.
sucks when you have nowhere to shower afterwards.
There's a shower in the back of Hollywood where they do it.
More
There's
like a
no hot
spigot,
water.
but-
It sucks. I might as well just go in the ocean. And I will too.
Anything else you guys want to talk about from this match?
Beautiful Shining Wizard from Xavier Woods just
Yeah.
really popped and thought it could have been it right there, but
I mean, like you said, this was a different kind of match because the two men were equals. They was a very tit-for-tat match. If one got any offense, the other would come back with his own offense. It wasn't any like slow arc to it. It was immediately come back, hit something, come back. They fought like equals, so you didn't quite know where the match was going to end.
I
But
love
as soon
that.
as Breeze grabbed onto those ropes like a scared child, he hit that beauty shot, and that was the end of it.
concerned for his face.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
Breeze Woods having complete disregard, sending him right into the turnbuckle, get from the match.
Much to the chagrin of the crowd.
Oh,
no,
my
not
gosh.
having that.
There was
Also-
one lady, yeah, she was unhappy.
Also, Breeze had a really pretty turnbuckle bulldog where he went through the top and the middle rope.
You generally see that with somebody standing in the ropes, and then the individual giving a clothesline to the one standing. But instead, he modified it, driving his opponent's head through the turnbuckle.
It's a wonderful new way to see a classic move.
That's true.
Yeah.
Very smart too.
So backstage, Devin interviews Bo Dallas, talking about how Neville isn't better than him. He didn't technically beat him. Neville's only better at climbing a ladder. And it actually made a lot of sense.
Valid points all. I mean, he called it his title and said that Neville did not beat him, and you know what? He's absolutely correct. You can win a match without beating a person. That's exactly what Neville did. He did not beat Bo, so a singles match actually is the best way to test the new champion.
Yeah.
And I liked Bo's almost. It was very insulting, but in that Bo way where he meant well. He seemingly meant well. But just like, it's not a jungle gym competition. And just like, yeah,
you got that Bo impression out. The look.
It's just in the eyes.
Yeah, it's in the eyes.
If you guys
he's
are
real
listening on
beady-eyed.
iTunes, you definitely need to tune in one time for Mark's Bo facial impressions.
YouTube.com/AfterBuzzTV.
Next match, we have Corey Graves versus Yoshi Tatsu in a rematch, I guess you can call it. Even though
there was a decision.
it was technically a rematch, but there really wasn't much match last time.
You get really technical. That was not a wrestling match. That was one man dodging a match and another man taking a beating to a finish. That was not a match.
Hey, Graves got the W.
Yeah.
So technical. So
Count
technical.
out.
Yeah.
So this time around, Corey ends up winning with the lucky number 13. And post-match, Sami Zayn comes out Sami Zayn doesn't come out. Sorry.
That's all right.
My notes. Post-match, Corey Graves addresses Sami Zayn and says, "Last week, hope you got the message. Don't be a fool. Stay down."
Stay down. I should have wrote it. Would have been dramatic. And all of a sudden, like, oh.
I've heard that they don't know how much longer they're going to use the stay down thing. So
Well,
it
I
might
mean,
be copyrighted by someone. But he can't really get rid of it, so.
No, it's like,
Right.
that's me.
Permanent.
Stay down. Maybe they can get something tattooed over it. Is there anything else you can do over stay down? Maybe stray.
Stray? Add a letter? Like a little R next to the T?
Yeah, something.
Stray down.
Cathy Kelley having fun with a pen.
I'm ready.
No, don't cut to her yet.
Look at her go.
Drama.
But yeah, in this
the match, though. There it is.
Stay
There
down.
it is.
Stay down.
Stay down.
Stay. Yeah.
Down.
This should give you a good representation of what my notes look like.
For audio
Very
listeners,
sloppy.
it totally says stay down. Totally says stay
Yeah,
down.
I can
The
read
D
that.
isn't really a D.
If I squint real hard, that sure does look about right.
So.
It was a super solid match.
Yeah.
between the
It was
two of them.
really good. You see, right from the beginning, Graves is not gonna go and meet Tatsu. Tatsu comes out. He's mad. He wants retribution, but Graves sticks his head through the ropes. He says, "No, I'm not coming to you." He fights his fight. Graves always seems to fight his fight.
He fights with the scalpel as opposed to just going into battle with a sword.
Right. He doesn't just run.
Yeah.
He's very, very methodical, and he was at the very beginning of this match until Tatsu started to get the ball rolling and started to just throw haymakers. He was mad.
Yeah.
I don't blame him. This upstart kid coming in and getting a cheap win on you like that, man, that pisses you off.
Totally.
Oh.
I also really appreciated commentary during this match because, what's his name now? Jason
Albert.
Jason
Yes.
Albert actually worked with Yoshi Tatsu back in Japan when he was first getting his start. So it was cool to have that whole backstory, while the match was going on.
It's nice to see that they're acknowledging previous work
Yeah,
now.
it adds
it's
an
hard to
element, though.
not.
Yes.
It's hard to not with so many different.
It makes it so much more real as a fan, and that's what I
It
appreciate.
makes them seem like fighters, you know? Fighters can travel to different gyms and learn different things from different trainers.
It's not just characters that suddenly appeared 2 years ago. They're actual people who have histories.
Like at the end of the Tensai gimmick, they started acknowledging that he went through this big transformation to become Tensai, as opposed to, oh, hey, here's this new guy that nobody's ever seen before, when clearly the crowd is chanting Albert.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a much more better worldly view of a sport.
True. And that's how it should be viewed, in my opinion.
Exactly. Next match, we have Natty versus Charlotte. Bret Hart accompanies Natty to the ring, and this would have been the perfect time to have Flair come back and accompany Charlotte, but unfortunately we just had Sasha tonight. It's the first time I've said unfortunately.
Sasha.
And Summer on a Stick.
Thank you.
I think it gives us something to look forward to. If we got Flair and Bret, it would have been.
I don't know that
that's
it's ever going
good.
to happen.
But I mean, we may get Flair next week or at another time,
Yeah.
and then we can keep this feud going until both of them meet.
Weren't these tapings the same weekend though? Like, they were probably both in the building.
No.
Oh, it was different weekends?
Flair,
Okay.
Flair wasn't there for that one.
Okay.
But it could be the next match is just Flair, and then
Right.
with the two
escalate.
of them.
Build it up. We
Yeah.
can keep this
Yeah.
going. There's possibility for like a final conclusion.
Yeah.
The next NXT special.
The fans were very happy that Bret Hart was there.
Oh yeah, no, I know.
So happy.
He's a legend.
Yeah.
It really is.
Be cool. I mean, it's cool to show up to a seemingly small WWE show of NXT and just be like, "Oh, hey, one of the best of all time is here. Cool.
Awesome.
Worth my $10."
Yeah.
Exactly. So, during the match, Charlotte tries to lock in her daddy's move, the figure 4, a couple times, but it doesn't really work out for her. She does have a lot of kicks towards Natty, kicks in the gut, kicks elsewhere.
She got legs.
She's
She can use them.
The dirtiest diva in the game, and true to that name, Natty ends up locking in, she was about to lock in the sharpshooter, and then Sasha
Checked her
interferes,
from behind, man.
DQ, and then after the match, Natty drags Sasha into the ring for the sharpshooter.
And gets her to tap out.
Yeah.
I mean, but
Oh, well, yeah.
still the psychological victory on top of the winning the
actual
match by DQ.
victory.
That's not, but winning a match by the DQ is not a real victory. Getting your opponent to tap out at the end, that is a victory, even on top of the victory you've already gotten by them deciding to not follow the rules.
And still, technically, Charlotte hasn't tapped out of the figure 4.
True.
And they can use that to build for the
Very
next
true.
match. This was an awesome match.
Yeah.
It was-
This is what I've been saying about Charlotte, and other people have been poo-pooing me, but Charlotte in the ring is damn good.
Both of them are very technically solid.
Very much so.
Absolutely. For a young girl like Charlotte
Yeah.
to pick it up that quick, man, that's impressive.
And I would argue that this is one of the best times we've seen Natty down at NXT.
Yeah.
I guess having somebody technical to work off of can really help you
Yeah.
to pick up your own technical game.
I mean, she's been good in previous matches down there, but I
Just
feel
not
like
this
I don't
type
know.
of
I
match.
feel like their chemistry together tonight was really good.
and they had real chemistry, bringing in the influences of the past legends that have brought these now young upstarts forth. It makes it very personal and very real for the fans. You could feel the tension in the building, especially with Bret Hart ringside.
Yeah.
Idly watching by.
Yes. Well, not idly. He was cheering her on
he was offering her
and cajoling
encouragement.
with fans.
Yeah.
Did you guys have any favorite points in the match?
Just those mean kicks to the gut
Yeah.
that she would nail, and the head scissor kip up reversals at the beginning where they just went like solidly on their feet. You don't see that very often from anybody.
Yeah.
Like sometimes from cruiserweights, but that was nuts.
The one problem I had with this match was Charlotte working on Natty's knee. A good chunk of the match, very, very solidly, very passionately trying to work on that knee to go for the figure 4. But toward the very end of that match, Natty showing no signs of any weakness on that knee at all, able to lock in the sharpshooter. You think because so much pressure is applied to the giver's knee when giving the sharpshooter that you could collapse. But she seemed to be fine, which sort of undersold Charlotte's attempts to get a victory via the figure 4.
Could be a slow build again, though, too, where she just keeps going away at that knee so that by the time they do make it to that ultimate match, Natty's at a disadvantage and Charlotte can pull out the victory a lot easier.
I think it would have helped though if she showed
she
it
actually
tonight.
sold it. No, I agree.
I
I
mean,
definitely
you
agree.
you don't have to die, but definitely put a hand on it. Look, wince in pain, do something.
Ryan Whittalison, I can't pronounce his last name, but Ryan on chat roll said that they need to sell Summer on a Stick on the website.
Honestly, yeah, that would be a so simple idea for them to make money.
So cheap.
Anytime if you order an NXT shirt from shop.com, you get Summer on a Stick for free. Just put in the access code SummerStick.
I think they should sell it for like $5 or $7.50 or something, and it costs 30 cents to make.
Less than that. It's a popsicle stick and a piece of paper.
I know.
Jeez.
People fandangoing with that.
When do you think we'll see Summer again? It's been a while.
Hopefully next round of tapings.
Yeah.
Apparently, she is a busy, busy girl.
Yeah.
I mean, between Total Divas and being on the main roster.
Yeah, and Marine, the Marine.
Oh,
that's right. She's in that.
Between all three of those, I'm surprised she's got any time at all for anything.
Speaking of Summer, there was, I don't remember if it was Superstars or main event, but it was Summer and Natty against Alicia Fox and Oksana, which I found
was that
very.
This week?
No, it was a couple weeks ago, but it was still just like you're trying. Like it was a weird kind of conflict of selling a character.
Right. I mean, you've paired two people that are having a feud on another level. I mean, and for them to work cohesively together doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
You would have to have friction in that match in order for it to really work.
Yeah.
And to sell the larger picture of, oh, look over here, they're having a feud over here.
Why are they so mad at each other? Watching NXT and the WWE.
Right. Then you'll find out.
And watch Total Divas.
Oh yeah, that too.
Well,
That might have been to sell that.
You'd have to.
Yeah.
Hey, don't knock it till you try it, bro.
Wow.
Actually very entertaining. We'll have to say. Not just because I'm a female, but because it's great fake reality television.
So that's where I want it to be fake. I want them to say it's fake. I want it to be wrestling, you know?
No, I think that there are a lot of elements that are real, but it's just with any reality show, there's no way that you can film 24 hours in a day. There would just be way too much footage. So all of those storylines are, while a lot of them are real, you're just rehashing what actually happened as opposed to it being the first time around.
Yeah, right.
So.
Total Divas on E Network.
Yeah.
All right.
But it is interesting how they spin certain things, like even Maria's nudie pics.
Wait, what?
So Neville was backstage with
the internet.
So, yes, backstage we have Adrian Neville, and he's asked how tonight will be different with Bo. He says simply he has momentum behind him now, which he does.
I wouldn't want that to change either.
He just didn't sound as confident.
Really?
In his promo, he didn't. I think he was doubting himself, as he should have been.
I was going to say, I thought that he sounded confident. I'm not as big a fan of, when they first started doing them, the backstage segments with,
in the hallway?
no one on camera, I like them. Now it's kind of, I feel like the talent doesn't connect as much.
Yeah, they're doing the weird half and half because Bo had the interviewer and Neville was just kind of in the hallway.
Stick with one form or the other.
Yeah.
Two of them is confusing, and I feel like it's more confusing for the talent because they're like, I don't know.
Because they don't have that kind of backstage segment on the main show.
I feel like the strongest people that we've seen, like Sami Zayn does a ton of these backstage interviews and whatever else. Neville now, just something about it doesn't connect. Like they either lose some of their emotion in it. I don't know what it is.
No, you're absolutely correct.
Yeah.
A lot of those don't have any emotion. It's much like TMZ. The stars who are being filmed by TMZ do not give any sort of emotion because they don't care. Nobody cares about somebody that just comes up to you with a camera phone.
Yeah.
How do you feel about this? I don't know. Go away.
But the interviewer, like the
Right.
Devins and
You actually
Renees
get
and
a
stuff,
chance to emote.
Yeah.
That is where you emote.
because those are your friends. You see them every single week.
Yeah, if you put somebody in that no interviewer situation, have them look right at the camera. Have them talk to the audience if they're not going to talk to somebody else. Then that might be able to get something out of it.
They may
It does feel too TMZ,
They
though.
might have to change something about
Yeah.
that.
No,
or just
I
don't do
like
it anymore.
but something's
The past
yeah.
couple weeks, it's been a little bit off for
been weird.
me. So.
Yeah.
Next week, it is announced Sami Zayn versus Corey Graves. Hopefully, Zayn will be back in commission before then and medically cleared.
They might drag it out. They might drag it out a little
I
bit
think
more.
they'll probably play up that he's still a little bit injured or hurt, but we'll still see a great match.
Sami Zayn is like Iron Man. He's never at full capacity when he's in a match. It's weird.
It's like
Sometimes
Ding
the
O'Brien.
best fighters fight from underneath. You got to be fighting against the tide in order to really feel alive.
And
Yeah.
that's the only way that they can really have him ever lose, because he's so good
so
that they have to say he's not fighting at full capacity or else he looks weak.
Oh yeah, no, they'll remind us on commentary too. It was like the possible concussion still rocking him, or his knee problem, or this, that, the other thing.
He's falling apart. He's held together by tape and string. He's barely even here. Watch him win, though.
Yeah, that's what makes the win that much more sweet.
Exactly. Makes him
Jay-
look like a fighter.
Olay.
Jay all the time in chat says he wants more Devin Taylor interviews on NXT.
Yeah, she's
I think
good.
is a general consensus.
I want more
She's
Devin
good.
Taylor at Adam Rose parties because
Okay.
that was fun.
Yeah.
Just like
It kind of didn't
No,
go
Adam
anywhere.
Rose
We
this
can keep
week.
doing
yeah,
it.
we had him last week.
I know. But I want that entrance every single week, and I want them to go back to the old music.
Yeah.
I don't think the music is that big a deal.
I think it is.
I don't know what's up with you people. The party goes on. The music changes, but the party goes on.
But the music can make the party.
Yes, it can. Very much so.
Okay, with the subtle differences between past music and present music, how big a deal is
If I
it?
hadn't heard the first song and I just heard the second song, I would like it. But since I heard the first song, you can't take that away from me.
Congratulations,
It's not the
Cathy
same.
Kelley. You really sound like a wrestling fan now. You really sound like a wrestling fan.
Last
Golf Clubs?
match of the
Yeah.
night, Bo versus Neville. Neville's moonsault on the floor. We have to talk about that. The height, the slow motion recap version.
Beautiful.
So good.
It
He
was
has got-
perfect.
Body control like nobody else.
Yeah.
You see it when he does his back flips. You see it at every other time that he is in the ring. But it was absolutely no more present than watching him fly perfectly off the top to the outside and basically landing on his feet.
Right on top of Bo.
It was
Perfect.
Backwards.
Yeah.
He didn't need. It was a blind jump. I don't know how the hell he did it. Actually,
He guessed.
a perfect guess.
Yeah.
He must have eyes like an eagle.
Yeah.
Probably. Just cut the beak of one. Sorry.
Oh, and he's got the wings too. Yeah,
See, I
we can
started
pick
it, but
on
he
him.
finished it. Yeah. why not?
Later in the match, Neville also goes for the red arrow, which was beautiful, but Bo stuck his knees up, and then it looked like Bo had the upper hand for a little bit, and then Neville ends up doing an inverted 450 to retain his title.
But he forgot how he set it up. He set it up with an on-point, 100% bullseye-targeted super kick.
His
That-
body was at a perfect straight line, so when it hit Bo or Bo hit it, all of the impact just soaked into Bo. Oh, it was
reverberating out of the...
brutal.
There's a reason why he's a champion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is a
And
reason.
now that I think of it, there's a reason Neville is in such good shape. Because when you go for these high-flying moves, you're taking more punishment. When you land on somebody from a great height, your body takes punishment as well as theirs. So he's got to stay in such great physical condition to keep his body from breaking down. When Bo stuck up his knees going for the red arrow, he could have broken a rib. He could have very easily broken a rib. But because he's got such musculature, he was able to bring it back together and not lose.
Yeah.
Yeah, from the height that he got on that red arrow, he something wrong could have happened, but it didn't.
Easily.
Don't try it at home.
Easily.
Don't try the red arrow at home. See how far you can get.
Don't try the red arrow at home.
Do not
I guarantee you
attempt
can't get
any of this.
anywhere. Except maybe to the hospital.
That's a fast ride.
It's a fast ride with lights and sirens.
An expensive ride, too.
Got to ride in style.
Yeah.
If I learned anything from Ric Flair.
So, anything you guys want to talk about from this match? Anything else?
Just solid,
Overall, yeah.
ridiculously solid.
The match itself was good, and there was a story.
Yeah.
There really was. You could see the desperation on Bo's face.
Yeah.
He went for maybe, 50 pins over the course of this match? He wanted so badly to have that belt back because his existence is tied to having that belt. He cannot exist without it. So you see a desperate man in that ring doing everything he can think of to try and get that belt back, to make himself whole again. But he could not do it.
And even in that desperation, he still remembered the rules. While Neville was outside after he got a real mean clothesline, he was trying to get the ref to slow down. Then when he saw that Neville wasn't getting up, he's like, crap, okay. Then he had to go down and bring him back in.
Can we talk about that 2 count too? Halfway through the match where it was like,
of 2 counts?
1, 2, 3.
It was a flower.
Like, yeah.
It was 1, 2. Oh, no.
Yeah,
It was a 4 count.
It was definitely a little interesting, but I think it also adds to the idea of Bo has a larger influence over what happens. I've said it before and I'll say it again. He's got a very sort of politician's way of dealing with everything. He has this whole thing leading up to the match at ArRIVAL. Neville was in all of these matches, all of these hard-hitting matches. Why? Because I think Bo put him in those matches somehow, working backstage, and I think maybe he had that referee in his pocket a little bit. But when you win, you win. He could have hit him. That 450 was so impactful, there's no way Bo could get up. No. Not even if the trainers and referees were checking on him afterwards to see if he was okay. That was a decisive victory for Neville.
Very much so.
So do we think that this is the end of the feud? Is Bo gonna go sulk in a corner and not come back to...
Well, technically, since that was his rematch, that should be it for a while. But we've
also seen people who have had multiple rematches against the same person, like Sami Zayn versus Cesaro, Sami Zayn versus Cesaro, and Sami Zayn versus Cesaro.
Yeah, that's not gold though. Like
Neville's
got the belt, gold. And he could have, he
could face anyone.
He could face anybody.
And I think that's what we want. Or he could do an
Adrian Neville invitational, like Bo had his own invitational.
Which missed opportunity. But I like the idea of the ref in the pocket, because then you could be like, well, look at this referee, and the referee can come out and be like, but you told me, and then it's this big thing. It's like, all right, so that didn't count. I need another one. We have to do it again.
We could go in a mess of different directions from right now. If it was a decisive victory, we could see a despondent Bo Dallas, and we could actually see maybe a transition. Maybe his character changes after this. Because everything was about the belt, now that he's lost it, he may turn into something else.
Yeah.
You don't know. He could change himself. We just... I don't know. We're left scratching our heads, wondering what's next, but in the best way.
Yeah, can't wait to see what happens with him either.
Exactly.
Because he always makes it interesting.
It will be interesting to see what is to come. So, overall thoughts of the episode?
If not, no, I think it's the most solid show since ArRIVAL.
Well, it was meant to be. It actually had its own name. It had that sort of live special feel. It was Vengeance, NXT Vengeance.
Mm-hmm. I don't know that it felt any different. It was a great show, but I don't know that it felt like a special.
No, it didn't. Because of the length, though they did go really quick segment to segment, there weren't a lot of interstitials. There were a couple, but only...
Well, here's what makes it different from any other night. There were no squash matches, nothing at all like that.
A lot of them were very unpredictable. That was great.
These were matches.
They were short, but not necessarily...
Except for
there was really nothing.
There was some short,
tremendously short.
CJ and Mojo was short.
I'm not saying it was short. I'm saying it was action-packed. Everything definitely had a lot of action. Nothing was extremely one-sided. Mm-hmm. As close as you get a CJ and Mojo, and that started the show. We didn't go get anything else like that tonight.
No, I agree with that.
That was it. I think it did have a special feel, and I don't think we should undersell it.
Yeah.
My God.
I feel strongly.
Everyone's got opinions.
Yeah. Just top to bottom solid show. Sorry.
Okay, well, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe to us on iTunes. We don't just have the NXT After Show, we have about 60 other shows a week. So if you're a fan of WWE, we've got Raw, we've got Main Event, we've got SmackDown, we've got everything, any show on television, we probably have an after show for it. So check us out on iTunes, and then also leave us a comment on YouTube letting us know what you thought of tonight's NXT show. And you can also, in the meantime, follow us on Twitter. Where can they find you guys?
You can find me on Twitter at TrueHobo, and if you like the shirt, you can buy it on Pro Wrestling Tees at ProWrestlingTees.com/hobo.
And you can find me at SoapboxMark, Smark for short.
Ooh.
But Twitter... For
Soapbox
both
Mark.
of you, really. But it's actually Soapbox Mark. And if you like the t-shirt he's wearing, you go to ProWrestlingTees.com/hobo.
And you can find me on Twitter at Catherine Kelley. You can find all of us here at AfterBuzz TV. Until next week, thanks for tuning in.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.